This is paradise. They ain't near as nice. They face left, cause they ain't do it right. I still dream big, in case you haters asking. And no one helped me on this road, I had to make this happen. Never got attention when it moved through. Now they want my 2 cents like a rude Jew. Life's a gamble, so I gotta play these cards. And we started at the bottom, now they know just who we are, yeah, and we just living the life. Fake old out, and now they paying the price. It's that stock for life. We is young and we grinding, we want that paradise. Yeah, we want that paradise. Yeah, we want that paradise.
So when did you know that Malachi had what it takes to get to the next level?
Well, Malachi was exceptional at a young age. He comes from a basketball background family, his cousins, myself. He had basketball all around him. So right around like 6 years old, if you can believe it, Malachi was exceptional. He can dribble a little bit better than the other kids. He can jump a little bit better than the other kids. He was a little faster. And he had what it took to make himself a great ball player. He was a hard worker. Even though he was pretty small at a young age, he was exceptionally quick and exceptionally strong, and he worked hard. So I would say right around 5 or 6 years old, to be honest with you, you can tell that he stood out from the crowd.
You ever watch a dream manifest? Real life. It's nothing like it. DC too.
If you ain't got a dream, you ain't got nothing. Sun don't shine, you know if it's daddy, I sit in the sun on grind. Young boy with dreams of touching that big screen.
My favorite memory with him, I guess, would have to be the Loyola game where he had 30 in the second half. He's just going all crazy. And I guess the other one would have to be versus Maine East at home. He threw a lot of passing. He was our first live pass in the game, so it was kind of special.
My earliest memory here was playing. I was like 5 or 6, playing in the midget league here. We had the low rims. And it was me, my cousin Josh, and my cousin Alante, along with Spallone, who won championship.
I wasn't playing here for a long time. I only played for 1 year, so I think it had to be my 8th grade year, and I won the 3-point shootout. I mean, I didn't get no credit for it, you know what I'm saying? They just knew who I was, but I didn't get no credit. That probably had to be mine. And we made the playoffs my first year. Played Lorenzo and the Lakers, and we lost.
Malachi, back here at Niles North, your former high school, man. Your emotion, what's your emotion when you walk back into the school, especially this gym?
Yeah, man, it's a lot of emotion, you know. Had a lot of great memories in here, won a few big games in here, so a lot of emotion. It was a war with a lot of guys. So.
Malachi, everybody kind of knows your latest story, but I don't think many people know about you know, on the come up growing up. But can you talk to us a little bit about growing up in Evanston before eventually moving on to Wheeler?
Yeah, I grew up in Evanston with my mother and my siblings. You know, played basketball, baseball, and football. I was very involved, always in sports.
Yeah. What, growing up with the same mom, like you kind of talked about, you know, how was that kind of, I know she was young as well,
yeah.
Trying to raise you, especially you being the oldest child, but how did you just like, you know, kind of deal with that now with having a father figure in your life?
My mom was like my mother and father, you know, she was very strong. And, you know, she always preached the same things to me, you know, go to school, get your work done in basketball, and sports second. Right. So, you know, that's always stuck in my head, and she's just always been there for me. She's just been my motivation, so, yeah.
And you being the oldest of a couple of children as well, having a brother and sister, how did they kind of look up to you? You know, what's that kind of feeling?
Yeah, they definitely look up to me a lot. You know, it just keeps me on my stuff, you know, I got to set a good example for them and let them know to be a positive person as well. So I try to do that the best I can.
And it wasn't always basketball in your life, like you said, man. The early stages was kind of that football mentality. But when did it kind of switch? When did you kind of find that passion for basketball?
I broke my wrist in 7th grade.
Okay.
And after that, I was just like, man, I really like basketball.
Yeah.
And I started working more in basketball. And I started as a freshman here in Niles North at varsity. So ever since then, it's
And when we talked to Coach Olsen earlier, before you coming to Niles North as an 8th grader, he said that we saw you in a couple of big travel games, and he just said like, man, this guy can play, despite your size. But talk about that process in which you chose Niles North out of a couple of high schools. What other high schools were on your mind, and why chose Niles North?
Evanston, obviously, St. Pat's, and Notre Dame, and Loyola as well. But I don't know. I've always heard great things about Coach Olsen. Dwight, one of my cousins played at Maine East over for Coach Olsen. So I've always heard only good things about Coach Olsen. I wanted to be a part of it. He's a great coach, great mentor, just a great person. So I decided to.
Do you remember what he first told you when you got here as a freshman? I know it was his first year. I know it was your first year as well. Did he tell you anything specifically to kind of motivate you, prompt you?
Definitely.
Being a freshman?
Yeah, he didn't guarantee me varsity time at all. He didn't guarantee me playing varsity, but he told me I would be a great player here. And once I did find out that I was going to varsity, he told me I was going to, be the all-time winningest player here at North, leading scorer, just all the things that I have done. The only thing we didn't get was the state championship, which is the biggest thing.
We'll definitely touch a little bit on that later. But does that kind of that trust right when you got here, like Coach Olsen, you kind of instantly had that?
He's instantly had the trust to Coach Olsen. He's just a great guy. You get a great feeling within the first few minutes you talk to him. So I definitely have good trust in Coach Olsen.
Playing with guys like Will Nader and eventually guys like BJ Beckford and everything, that's some very good talented players as well. How were you just able to constantly improve your game from year to year to year to year?
You playing with great players every day, and scrappy players, which we have here at Niles North every year. It definitely makes you a better basketball player, makes you a tougher basketball player. And I think toughness and confidence is two of the biggest things you need playing this game. Those players really help you out.
So, Malachi, was there ever a time where you kind of maybe question your confidence or your ability to play the game of basketball?
Maybe early age when I was about a freshman, I was making a big impact like all the other, like Jabari and all those guys.
Yeah.
But I was just, just maintaining. I questioned my confidence and all that, but.
What was there for you as well as just kind of keeping your spirits high?
Coach Olsen was there, Coach Drace was there, Papa Olsen was there, my mother was definitely there.
Yeah.
And so those people, they just, keep doing them out and everything will fall into place.
And eventually down the line, it all eventually did fall into place. What was one game that stuck out in your mind in regards to just your playing career here? What you remember in those 4 years? Coach Olsen said the Loyola game. I know that was a pretty big game.
That was probably personally my best game. I'm not sure. Maybe winning the section championship as a sophomore. Where in the trio we beat Sean.
Okay.
That was just a big win for the program, big win for the community. Yeah, I think that just put us in the best spot from there.
Now, being a small guard, what's kind of, did a lot of people kind of look down upon you? Did you feel kind of like, judge you and everything like that? But how'd you overcome it?
I try not to pay too much attention to it. I've had it my whole life, so just play basketball. Do what I've been doing all these years, and
made you want to train harder.
Yeah, definitely train harder. Trained a lot over the summer.
What was kind of your routine from what you're even still doing now?
A lot of shots, a lot of ball handling. Got to get my conditioning in as well, strength training, all that stuff.
Malachi, you were obviously like a fan favorite, man. A lot of the town embraced you. How did that feel to have a lot of Evanston and Skokie in the stands, and then just having everybody embrace you? Maybe when you went out to the mall, which you got right over here in Old Norwich.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Very humbling.
Yeah.
Get to meet a lot of people and kids ask for autographs and stuff like that. It's very humbling at a young age, so I appreciate it.
Malachi, then you left Niles North as all-time leading scorer in their history. What was the exact point margin? Was it
I want to say 1,532, I think.
When you reached that plateau that night, what did that feel like?
Well,
that's a goal you said earlier.
Wait, you mean like what was the previous record, or what did I end off?
Oh, which one off with? Yeah.
I ended off with 1,532.
Yeah.
And that was my last game. It was sad. Lost in the year, but it was cool to leave a legacy here, and now it's more great group of guys that I had, a great coaching staff that I had. It was just great, great time.
And I would get into like the recruiting process. I know it was definitely a bumpy road until a little bit later, but I mean, did you feel at all a little bit disrespected because you've done so much for a program here? You guys, made it as hard as any other team really, besides like Simeon and everything else. But then you were the all-time leading scorer. I mean, it's just like the size. Did that at all kind of just frustrate you? I know it definitely frustrated the coaching staff, but I'm just.
It did frustrate me, but at the time while I was in season, I really didn't try to focus on that. I mean, it was crossed my mind a lot, but I wanted to win the state championship really bad, so I tried to just play my game and hopefully coaches will open their eyes and see that I can play with the best of them. And I mean, eventually somebody did. Coach Greg Miranda, he offered me a scholarship, and I'll play there that game.
And there we go, Fairleigh Dickinson and Furman, I believe, are the two schools. I mean, just like you said, it just took one coach to kind of see that potential in you. But when they finally did, and you got that offer, I mean, what did that feel like?
Yeah, it felt great. It was great. I talked to my mom about it. The first person I called was my mom,
right.
And called Coach Olsen. And we were just both just all excited. It's 4 years of hard work, and even more than that actually. So yeah, my mother didn't have to pay for school.
Yeah,
I definitely wanted to. So it felt great.
And I mean, even moving forward, you achieved all those kind of goals. You said you wanted to be the all-time leading scorer. Unfortunately, no state championship, but you did get that Division I offer.
Yes.
So I mean, that's that's definitely terrific, man. But the season thus far for Fairleigh Dickinson, what are some changes you've seen from the high school game to the college game?
A lot faster.
Yeah.
Got to be a lot stronger. Guys are much bigger. Everywhere from the one guards to the 5 big men. So it's a big difference, but I feel like I can still hang with the best one. Play with confidence.
Do you see that a lot of small guards or Niles North players come back and try to get advice from you? Do you feel like have you seen that so far?
Yeah, I talked to a few of the guys.
Okay.
Just trying to keep. They're really young now, so I'm just trying to just play a game. Just listen to Coach Olsen because he's basketball guru right now. So just listen to that man, and he's not gonna lead you to anything bad. So just listen to him and play your game.
And I mean, I know we talked about that earlier with the embracing you, but what's that like though when you have like a small guard, a guy in the partnership? I have Malachi's post, or I have a picture, and things like that.
It's cool. It's really cool. It's really humbling. I was looking up to guys in high school when I was like that. So it's crazy. Now it's finally me.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing. It's humbling.
Do you remember a specific moment where you had like somebody tell you like you're an inspiration, like a kid or something like that?
I mean, a specific.
Or maybe someone like told you something, and you catch you off guard, kind of like a random person just seeing you play or something.
Actually, junior year, I had a kid tell me he wanted to be just like me for an autograph after a game. I was just like, wow.
And that's before you know.
Yeah. I was just like, wow. I would never expect this to happen.
It did, and and my final question for you. I mean, when it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy to be from Malachi Nix?
Be not only just a great basketball player, but a great person, great role model, set good examples for kids out there. Just have a great career at FDU, hopefully play professional, wherever.
Absolutely. You got 4 years to try to lead him to a NCAA tournament appearance as well. So.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, guys. Derek Spallone, Malachi Nix. We appreciate it, my man.
Thanks,
all right, man.